Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Today is our NAQSH session where we use these grids that you can print off my Patreon. This is something really special I started doing for Ramzan. When I was a child, I did a lot of coloring, and what it did was the grid would hold the design, but I didn't have the creative capacity. Through these, that the lines are so delicate and they're so light gray that you can build on top and use them as you please. And of course, you can use them otherwise in the session if you needed to. Now, today's name that I got with this grid, Alhamdulillah, is Ya Malik. Now, in the book, it's written, when I read it in English, it says Malik. And then in Arabic, it says Malik. So I'm not super 100% sure, but you guys can guide me if you're more aware of the pronunciation. But I'll just go with Malik at the moment, and then you can, if somebody knows, then just let me know. I'll read a little bit about it, and then we start working on the grid, inshallah ta'ala. This is a very special name personally for me because I grew up calling every friend I had or every relationship, even at times my ex-husband, I used to say Malik, and my daughter G Malik, Jaisa aap chahein. Like there was a very typical way of saying, using that word, not knowing that it is actually one of the names of Allah. And unconsciously, I was calling people who would ask me to do something, and I'd be like, Ji Malik, jaisa aap chahein. And I think it came from one of the movies, Namak Halal, I think it was. And that's the reason I'm getting to this point is how we are brainwashed using certain words in our lives, daily lives, and unconsciously when we use them, we don't understand that these words actually have so much power. And we're saying them out loud without recognizing the effect of it, not only on the people we're using it for, but on our own selves. So by calling another human being Malik, I am actually, first of all, becoming their slave. And I'm giving them my power that I'm completely at your service. You say what I need to do. It was like a joke, right? In the movie, it was a joke. But when you say these words, they have an effect on us. And so I had to literally stop myself every time it would come for a person. After I got introduced to this name, I literally had to go through a year or so to kind of say, no, I'm not using this for you. You can't be that. What this, once you understand the meaning, you realize, Ya Allah, what have I been doing? So, of course, I didn't know the connection. I was brainwashed and thought Malik was only Amitabh calling his boss, Malik. But actually,
Hamna, sorry. Its pronunciation is Malik.
Malik, okay. So, thank you, Tisni. Thank you. And I think that again is my ignorance that I have. I don't even know what it is that I'm saying, right? And one of the things I'm learning in healing is the more vulnerable you are, the more you say, okay, I actually don't know, the more there's space for me to learn more, right? So if I was to say, oh, this is Malik, whatever, and I'll keep going on with it, and I won't even open the door to say, Acha, please, can you teach me? That means I am self-obsessed. Oh, I know it, and nobody can fix me, nobody can help me, nobody can guide me. Of course you can guide me, of course you can help me, because nobody is really perfect and nobody is all-knowing. And it really humbles you, these names, the more you get into them. So the quality of, I'll read a little bit before I keep going on, but I don't know how it sits in your personal life, and if you have any connection to it, then I'd love you to go into that space of when you were giving power to somebody else. It could be your mother figure, it could be your mother-in-law, it could be your child, that you submitted yourself completely and started obeying what they needed you to do. And now you're pulling back yourself and saying, hang on, they're not my Malik, or, again, Malik, whichever sits with you, but it's Malik, like this name said. The quality of Al-Malik is to hold everything in the universe in the hands of the one and the only being. You see, when we call somebody Malik, we're actually saying, you are responsible for my destiny. I give you my whole self in your hands. Write whatever you want to write. And that's one of like major things that we need to really think about. Who are we giving our power to, and why do we need to do that? Why have we been taught and told? So you hold yourself responsible that I have done this. Once you own it, that, oh my God, I've been doing this with my parents, I've been doing this with my child, automatically you start recognizing your Malik yourself. It is an all-inclusive and majestic embrace. I want you to feel like a warm hug around you. It's not something that's seeping inside you, because the inside you already has the light of Allah. It is something that is totally around you. It's the majestic embrace, a hug from your Allah when He's letting you know He is Malik. The word for angel, Malak, is closely related to this name. Angels are made of light and they are held in the hands of Allah. The light of Al-Malik holds the inner essence of each and everything. Inner essence meaning your RUH. Each thing's essence never leaves this majestic embrace and never returns to it, because it is permanently rooted in it. You don't get separated from Allah. It is inside you. It's so incredible. It gives you so much strength in your backbone. Yeah, He is my Malik. He is the one who owns me. He is the one who I belong to. And the more you repeat these things, and in the Western culture, there are these mantras. In Sufism, there's all this zikr. Buddhists also have these rituals of, affirmations and things like that. When you really think about it, all you're doing is you're reminding yourself over and over and over again of a concept. So Al-Malik, when you say, He is my Malik, He is my owner, He is the one I belong to, you're literally bringing yourself back into your being, that you do not have to be a slave to anybody else. It's a very powerful name, and it can really pull your energy back home into yourselves, and your distractions can be chopped off quite literally. People will be removed, experiences will be removed, and whatever needs to be removed between you and Him will be removed. And you'll feel closer to your Allah through this name, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Ya Malik, thus experienced as holding everything's essence in the inner world, is naturally paired in repetition with Ya Malik al-Mulk, the majestic force that holds all outer forms. So from the inside, you've got Malik, and from the outside, you've got Malik al-Mulk. So when you do both of the zikrs of these two names together, you're held from your soul, and you're held in your bodily needs and body, whatever desires. By combining the two in repetition, you are brought to a balanced confidence in heaven and earth. Invocation of Ya Malik and Malik al-Mulk is an antidote for all who feel abandoned and don't believe they belong anywhere. Now, this is a feeling that every single human being feels. Every single human being feels abandoned or left or unheard, unseen, and nobody's getting you. And let me tell you how and why I know that this is every single person feels it. If you go into the life of Prophet Muhammad, he too went through a phase when he thought Allah was not happy with him or something he's done, and that's why the revelation is not coming. So he too, at some point, even though he's the closest, Allah loves him beyond measure, to be like giving him the most brilliant miracle of all, sending Quran to him. He's the most beloved, and he too felt abandoned. And so you can imagine me and you feeling abandoned by Allah or by other people is a human, it's inbuilt in us. If we didn't feel abandoned, we wouldn't know where to go looking for where we belong. The feeling you have of being abandoned is so that you can be reminded who you belong to, right? So if you're abandoned by your mother, if you're abandoned by your sister, if you're abandoned by your husband, if you're abandoned by your children, every relationship where you feel abandoned is a gift by Allah to remind you to not attach yourself to them. So if you're too close to your mother, you start worshipping her and making her Malik. She becomes your owner. She's the one who runs your destiny, right? So Allah's telling you, I am your Malik. So you don't need to fear if your mother's going to leave you or not, if your child's going to leave you or not. You don't have to fear. Nobody's leaving nobody. For you belong to me, right? So he just wants to awaken that sense in you to feel abandoned. When you feel abandoned by your mother, the truth is that you remember, this is because I'm not, I'm connected to Allah. I can never be abandoned. Nobody can really choose to abandon me, for I belong to Allah. That nobody has that power, you see, because you are your Malik's creation. Automatically that sense starts getting healed. A person in this condition is constantly negating the reality of inner majesty or denying the reality of outer majesty. What happens is you are constantly negating, am I thinking right? Am I doing the right thing? Am I being polite? Am I saying the right thing? Am I feeling all right? What I feel, is that okay? There's a constant internal dug, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when you look at your outside reality, you kind of say, oh, I applied for this job, but I didn't really get it. Or we tried work so hard for this, but this didn't really happen. So your outer reality also says the same thing. The confusion keeps going on, blah, 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 blah. So through these names, when you recite these names in pair, as a pair, is also useful for those who do not feel entitled to possess things and who are afraid of the grossness of the material realm. I'll get really deep into this last line. Material realm. I want you to have this thing going on in your back when you're doing this piece today. Material realm. All that is existing in your material realm. Try to focus on it. Do the things that you have in your material realm make you feel blessed? Has your Malik provided you with every single thing that you need in the material realm? Because what happens is he is providing for our needs, but we are desiring for our wants. There's a difference. He says, I will give you everything you need because I am Malik. But we are attached to and we get distracted by our material realm desires. So he says, I'm going to give you Jannat and Dunya. But we are so attached to Dunya, our focus doesn't go on the Akhirat and we stay connected in this realm. If I have this job, if I have this relationship, if I have this, I am amazing. So we wait for something in Dunya to come our way to make us whatever it is that we feel we lack. Malik is saying, you are inside my hands. I'm the one holding you. I'm the one providing you. I'm the one who's got you. Now, do you think you will have anything that you don't need? You'll always have your needs met. But the mind tells us, I can't, I might not, I don't have it. All of these things. So this is your material realm. It's the outside world. You constantly be told, I want more. I want more cushions on my sofa. I want more food in my plate. I want more clothes to wear. There's a constant want, want, want. Now, Allah does not say, I will provide for all your wants. He says, I will provide for all your needs. But our wants have expanded to a space where we're constantly so attached to our wants that we've forgotten that he's already fulfilling all that we need. It's like the water is flowing from the tap in my kitchen sink, but I'm saying I want a waterfall. He's saying, but you have enough water for you to take a shower and do the toilet and wash the dishes. But I want a waterfall because that's my want. But he's saying, I'm fulfilling you by giving you the tap, which gives you the water for everything that you need to do. But I want a waterfall. I want you to sit with that and have a conversation with your own selves as you go into that, into this piece. Now, when you look at the grid, I hope it's visible on the screen. When you look at the grid, it has a few flowers, and each flower has an inside, a little bit of outside, and then an expanded aura of it, right? So whatever is inside is that's going to come outside. So if you're using a certain color for one flower, I would advise stick to that one color and create the patterns coming outwards. So that if you're working with red, that what you have within you is going to spill out red, for example, love or brownness or beauty or rose or whatever it is that you choose to do. So when you work with the design, work with that. What you have inside you is coming outside of you. Your inner realm belongs to Allah, meaning your RUH, the inner of the circle, belongs to Allah. The outside petals that you have, every single petal that you have has different veins and arteries going through it, right? Now, inside the veins and arteries, he is the one, not only the owner of your RUH, Malik of your RUH, he's the Malik of your cells in your body, of your liver, of your gallbladder, of your kidney. I'm taking you really inside, right? He is every single petal, meaning every single cell, every single artery, every single blood cell that runs through your veins, how it goes up, how it goes down, everything inside you. That's why there are layers in your petals that say that not just at one level he's got you in the unseen, meaning your RUH, and in your physical, meaning your liver, your veins, your fingers, your fingertips, your nails that die, hair that grows, everything. He's taking care of every single petal of your being. He's the Malik of every single petal. And inside every single petal, there is a deeper, I was looking at a documentary and they said, you actually cannot end going inwards, atom to molecules to blah blah. I'm not scientifically, I don't remember the names, but in every, I think it's called a sting theory, that everything you keep pulling back, keep pulling back, keep pulling back. There's no end to it. So Allah didn't only like do things on your skin. It is way beyond your skin that he is in control of. You just think he's helping you move your hands. He's not only making you move your hands or be creative, he's actually in control of the ink you're going to be using, in control of the blood pressure that you will be needing to move your hands, in control of your backbone, how you're sitting, in control of the breathing that you have. So every single petal he is holding in his hand, and every single petal has layers and layers inside it that are also held by Allah's love, Allah being the Malik. So he's letting you know, I am the one who owns everything inside of you, everything outside of you. So if there's something that you want which is not good for you, it doesn't happen. You put so much effort and it doesn't happen. Understand that I was not meant to come inside this space where you and him is. So that's where the whole flower things. Now I wanted to use this grid, also understanding that if he is your Malik, then he is the Malik of the dog, of your neighbor, of that person you absolutely cannot stand. So when we go into the understanding that that who is your Malik is the Malik of the person next door or anybody, right? Actually channel into those you don't like. So that will bring up forgiveness. If you think you are spiritually guided and you're so close to Allah and you're putting in time to know Allah, then so is everybody else, because every single human being is guided by Ya Hadi. Every single human being belongs to Ya Malik. So, but for me to say, oh, I am the one, blah, 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 and you're not the one, blah, blah, blah. I am closer, you're not closer. I'm wearing a hijab. I speak nicely. You don't speak nicely. You don't cook food nice, so you're not close to Allah. Whatever the reasons, we have stupid reasons to say, oh, I am close to Allah and you're not. And there's this constant, thing going on of you versus me. The reality is, if that who created me created you, alhamdulillah, then he is my Malik, and so is he your Malik. So to say that somebody is not guided, somebody's, they smoke, so they are bad people. Do you not think their Malik knows what it is that they need in that moment? What if that cigarette puffing was a need for their being? What if we think about it not as an addiction, but a way that they feel soothed so that they could operate through whatever chaos they are going through? Why can we not be open to loving people and recognizing that they too are being guided by Allah in the pace that they need to? Maybe you moved certain steps, but they didn't. So the flowers, pick one that is yours, but then pick one that you don't like somebody and try to bring their energy and start looking at them as who's their Malik. Then go into somebody who you absolutely adore. You love this person, so bring their energy. Try to work with the energy of different people. So if you can manage, do different types. So if you, for example, in my scenario, I like to work with one color because I don't want to think ye dalu, wo dalu. I just want to go with one color. So I will use different techniques to fill my flowers up. So one will be watercolor, one will be ink, one will be colored filled in with pencil, one will be colored filled in with something, but I'll stick to just one color. This is just how my brain works. But for you, if that's something you want to kind of explore, do it in different colors, but focus on that, what you start inside, coming out to the outside, to remind you that he is holding you from inside, Ya Malik, and outside, Malikul Mulk. He's holding you from the outside. So everything outside of you is held by him, guided by him. The people in your life do not just appear. The experiences in your life don't just appear. They're all in control of him, and they appear because you are in need of them. You don't want to have that needy desire, I want this. You say, I need this, Allah, please can you give it to me? He will provide for your needs very clearly, not your wants. And let me explain this. Wants are very much based on dunya. Needs are very much connected to your inside ruh. I need something, so I'm able to do something so that I can do something for Allah and feel peace in myself. I want nice shoes. I want to be rich. I want to look pretty so that everybody looks at me. There's a want and need. So again, you can sit with this exercise, write wants and write needs. And also, if you want to go into inner child healing, you can do that separately. But you can say, what was it that you wanted when you were young? And what was it that you were needing when you were young? And see how he has always, always come through in your needs. And in your wants is where you have been disappointed, because your wants was something that was not good for you. And so he didn't give you everything that you wanted, but he will always give you that what you've needed. So work on your grids, and I will read what I've got for this name. And Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, just go into the zone, allow yourselves to completely be creative, break the grid if you have to, create a new flower if you need to. On every flower, you can actually turn the form upside down. And that's the whole beauty about creating consciously. You see the grid, but you decide how you want to use it. It's not saying you can't create a flower on top of this. There's no right or wrong. You can go crazy and you can just create stars on it if you want to, right? So think beyond what the eye is seeing. Look at the flowers as an example to show you that what is within is outside of you. But don't hold it like I cannot do, break apart. Break the rules once you've learned them, but learning the rules is also equally important. So look at the grid, see which part calls you the most. Only thing I suggest, and again, this is a suggestion, this is not like a command that you have to follow. Pick a color for a flower. treat each flower differently. One could be a nice energy, one could be a negative energy. When you work with the negative energy, you're actually creating beauty representing them. So automatically, whatever it is that you hold against them, you're going to look at them as Maliks. It's not about your relationship with them. It's about them belonging to your Allah. How can they be bad if they are also guided? And automatically you will pray for them, for their forgiveness, if at all you feel like that, Allah, thank you for sending me in my life because they actually have a purpose and I know you wouldn't send them otherwise. So come into the sense of forgiving them and transmuting whatever it is that you feel in yourself in beauty, in through the flower, bring their colors out. How would Allah be seeing them when He was creating them? What is it that they need to have, like maybe a blue color to calm their nerves so they don't annoy the hell out of you? Whatever. I'm just giving examples here. So with that, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, go crazy. And if you don't want to work with negative energy, please don't. This is only a suggestion and an idea. But choose one flower that represents your own self. Allah wants us not to focus on other people. Allah wants us really, really to bring ourselves into our own being. The more you know yourself, the more you not ignore yourself, the more you'll find Allah. It is only through you that you will get to Allah, not through people and dunya and things here. So today's date is the 11th of March 2025, which comes to 14. Then you add the number of the name, which is 3. And when you add the whole thing together, it comes to the number 8, which is infinity. He is your Malik forever. So it's not like you have a job with him and you're his property today. You are his forever. Your whole existence is his. He chooses what to give you, what not to give you. He is your Malik. The more you recognize this, the more you train your subconscious mind that your Malik is not that who you have been told or what you thought. It's not your career. It's not your family. It's not your society. It's not your culture. It's not your religion. Nothing and nobody owns you. So imagine these chains that you had around your head and heart. None of them truly matter. None of them are real because none of them truly exist because you are a being of light, of Allah, and you were born free. There was no limitations to you. There was nobody holding you, restricting you. It was you were told that's how you are. You are a slave to the society and you have to behave a certain way to keep the society in a way that it is meant to be. You're coming closer to Allah. The closer to Allah you become, the more you realize that the society was only there as a grid. The society does not create you. The society just holds you, gives you a certain environment. You create yourself with your Allah. The more you focus on Him, the more He pulls you out of the grid. The grid was just given to you to hold you, to make you see things clearly. But then you have to choose, are you going to stay there for the rest of your life? Or are you going to rise above a level and see your grid in patterns, see your grid in colors, see yourself as something that is new? Are you going to give yourself a chance to grow, evolve, or just be stuck in the muddy waters? Now, that's a choice Allah gives you, right? Totally up to you. Now, nothing happens without His will. And that what does happen is always for our best. This is such a simple sentence. Nothing happens without His will. कोई चीज दुनिया में नहीं हो सकती अगर वो ना चाहे, ना अच्छा ना बुरा. हमारा यकीन कहता है कि सिर्फ वो है हर चीज के पीछे. Every cause, everything that happens has a cause, and that cause was done by Him. It is He who initiates everything. It is He who creates everything. Good, bad, evil, वो मैं और आप उसके ऊपर लेबल लगाते हैं अपनी सोच से, हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग से, हमारे नजरिए से. वो जिस चश्मे के साथ हम देखते हैं अल्लाह की विल को, हम उसके ऊपर ये कर देते हैं, ओहो मेरे साथ अच्छा हुआ, ओहो मेरे साथ बुरा हुआ. Now, just a very silly example, a daughter is getting married and the parents are thinking, this is amazing. Our daughter is going to be married, dowry de rahe, sab kuch de rahe. Sab khush hain, right? On the surface, what is happening? Everything is great. So we think, oh, Allah is with us. The moment she goes into the new house and things don't work out, we say, "Hi, देखो ना इसने कितने गुनाह किए होंगे ना इसके साथ, इसीलिए ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है, ये इसी की करनी है, ये हमने कुछ गुनाह किए होंगे ना तो हमारे साथ ही हो रहा है." Moment something good is happening, woohoo, it's the will of Allah. He's great, he's gracious, he's kind, he's so Rahman, he's so loving, my job is doing well, I'm getting money, everything is going so. Suddenly, when it hits a dark spot and you're put in a place, because nothing happens without the will of Allah. So if your daughter gets a divorce, or you have a miscarriage, or somebody in your life dies, is because of Allah. Not because of Allah, it is the will of Allah. He's doing it because we belong to him. Why would he not? Right? He's Malik. So nothing happens without the will of Allah. But when we think of something good, hey. The moment we think of something bad, we're like, oh, must have been my fault. I must have done something to deserve this. That is not Malik. That is not living Malik. Malik is, oh, Shadi is happening? Great, Alhamdulillah. May it lead to good endings or good path, whatever, right? Divorce is happening? It was the will of Allah. It's okay. You're still breathing, you're still healthy, Alhamdulillah. Acceptance. So it's not about judging what is happening in your life and thinking that is what Allah's relationship with you is. Your relationship with Allah is connected to your ruh. The more you connect to your ruh, the more you will have a deeper connection, communication with your Allah. That has nothing to do with your experiences. So we constantly go into a phase of thinking whatever is happening, the good is happening because I'm a good human being, the bad is happening because I deserved it. No, both are happening to teach you a lesson, to make you come closer to your Allah. In joy, he's reminding you he loves you. In sadness, he's reminding you that you're holding something within you that was an attachment that came between you and me. So I need to remove this obstacle because I love you. In both scenarios, his love rises above the experiences you are having. So when you understand this fully, nothing happens without his will. So even those things which were dark, gloomy, sad, your miscarriage, your death, not your death, no, I mean death of a loved one or a divorce or some separation or something, is the will of Allah. There's nothing to do with anything but a space of acceptance. Okay, Allah's trying to teach me something through this experience as much as he's teaching me something through the joyful experience. And that what does happen is always for our best. You see, Allah is holding you inside his hand. I want you to really imagine when something is inside something's hand, it is cradled. It is carried with love. He's calling it inside his hand. He's not saying you are in my hand. That could be like a cat. Like, you're holding a cat with the skin on the neck. That's a very different way of holding. You are in Allah's hands. Like, he's holding you inside his hands. He's not holding you with his hands. Like, it's not like a forceps kind of thing. It's you are inside his hands. Now, his hands, now I want you to really imagine this as a human being, your mind really expand it and think about his hands would be filled with what? He is light. So his hands will be lit. So you are always so close to Allah, you are inside his hands. So inside his hands, can a darkness come in? No, because it's inside his hands. There is so much light. All that there is will be light. So you're inside this hand. Like a flower, and inside the flower, what is being held? So when you are inside Allah's hands and you are in a space which is all lit, all loving, all held, cozy, warm, then can there be anything that is bad that happens? He who is holding you in his warm, glowing hands is guiding your life to unfold as it's meant to. For he alone knows what's best for you. That what is not good for you will appear as a distraction for you to see if you will get distracted by it. There will be, so you're sitting inside this hand, and suddenly a little bee flies, money tag lutking on his leg, a dollar sign, right? And you're like, I want that, I want that bee. So the distraction comes, and you start seeing this bzzz going around you. Now, if you are totally engulfed and embraced and just loving the glow of Allah's hands, that bee comes and you're like, huh, you know it's temporary. You know it's going to fly away. You know you have the power to shoo it. You know it's really funny, but it's so weird how our distractions creep in sometimes. We don't even realize they are actually distractions. And we kind of think, oh, you know, this is an opportunity for me to rise in career, for me to be wealthy, or for me to blah, blah, or for me to like, oh my God, I'll go and put 10,000 things on my face. This is an opportunity to just become something. I don't know, I'm just giving an example, right? We get so distracted by this little bee with a dollar sign on her palm. Let's make her a dollar sign flying, right? And we get distracted by it. Now, how do you know that this bee is good for you, or is it a distraction? The way to know if something is a distraction is you go deep into your intentions. Imagine when you're sitting inside Allah's hands and you have light around you. All you see is light, and suddenly this little green bee dollar sign is moving around you. What is your intention to deal with this? Do you feel you lack something and you want this bee because it looks pretty, it's exciting, it's like, it's all like, you know, it's the green color is nice. Maybe it's something that will get you out of the hands of Allah, and you can go and explore the world. You're too bored sitting in Allah's hands. What is your intention to go after this distraction? Did you want what you want for your fulfillment of the worldly desires, or was it for your akhirat? If you are inside Allah's hands and everything is provided to you, and this bee becomes in a distraction way, the only reason you will run after this bee is because you will feel that something that the bee has, you don't have. And something that the bee has will make you have that thing. And what is that thing that you want? Is it worldly? Is it something that you want in this dunya? Or is it something that will help you in your akhirat? Running after this bee, this distraction, this opportunity, where will it lead you to? Now, if you are a believer, you would have the concept of akhirat very clear in your heart and mind. So you would like to focus on that and your dunya. So you won't just say, okay, I'm just going to stand up and start running after this bee and that bee and that bee and that bee. You're going to say, hang on, which one out of all these bees is going to help me with peace, is going to keep me closer to Allah, who's going to be close, who would not distract me from Allah's light, who won't take me out of his hands, who won't like put darkness in my heart. Because you see, your focus will be only on those bees that help you in your akhirat. But if the bee is only going to help you in this dunya, then you have to ask yourself, is this dunya permanent or temporary? So that bee that distracted you, is that going to be permanent joy or temporary? Now, if you have the akhirat in your mind, right, you're going to think of that way. Kecha, I want something that keeps the bee, I want the kind of bee I run after that will help me in my dunya and my akhirat. But you see, Allah tests everybody. He doesn't just test me and you, He tests everybody. Because we have to prove to Allah that we are worthy of His Jannah. We are worthy. We are saying we love you. He says that just because you're saying you love me doesn't really say much, because you can say something and do something completely different, right? Do you not think I will test you? Just because you say you love me, I'll give you a distraction. A bee flies in. I'm going to see what you're going to do about it. I'm providing you with everything you need. But then you still have this desire, wanting something that will pull you into dunya. So are you going to run after that? So intention is really important. But you see, Allah tests everyone. Those who believe in the akhirat will, of course, will be so attached to that particular distraction, and keep, who do not have the perception of akhirat, who do not connect to akhirat, they're going to keep running after over and over again after this bee in different angles. Like kabhi they will go through food, they will go through money, the bee will fly in a relationship, the bee will fly in as a career opportunity that will give you lots of money, and you'll be like, hi, I get to do this, and then they'll be like, it could be anything. The bee could be anything that is going to come your way. So it'll be a distraction that will keep coming over and over again from different sides, back, front, up, down, everything, right? And what happens with the bee is that you, first of all, get distracted. In a space where you were held by Allah's light, you were sitting nice and calmly. What do you start doing? You start running after the bee. When you start running, you're using your energy. When you're using your energy like a game, doesn't your energy bar keep going down? And as it is going down, doesn't the space become darker? So as you are running after this bee, you are absorbing the darkness of this dunya in your heart, because you're running after something that's going to keep you in this dunya. It was only benefiting for your dunya. You didn't get a certain job, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again and again and again, and you're lugging after this one particular thing, right? Now it's not happening. You keep getting rejected from this job, that job, that job, that job. He's like, it's not good for you. Hamna, it's not good for you. You're like, fine, I didn't get it here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I am going to make this work. He doesn't want you to work in a 9-to-5 job. So he's not going to give it to you, because he knows that if he gives you the 9-to-5 job, you will become addicted to dunya. And dunya will then become the darkness, the pull, and you'll start running after this bee. So in your head, you are saying, oh my God, I am not able to find a job. I'm not able to find a spouse. I'm not able to find things to do. I'm not able to move forward. I feel so stuck in my life. In reality, he's saying, come home, sit with me. Let me show you the path of that, what will be beneficial for you in this dunya and your akhirat. You're like, no, I'm going to run after the bee. You run after the bee, you lose energy, you have darkness in your heart. Now what happened in the end? You leave the dunya with a dark heart. I tried, nothing really worked. You're carrying resentment, you're carrying rejection, you're carrying abandonment, you're carrying sadness, you're carrying grief, you're carrying guilt, you're carrying all of this in your heart. And then you're going to go and stand in front of Allah. I was doing everything you wanted me to do. No, no, we weren't. No, we won't. If you had the akhirat in your mind and your heart, you will recognize what is more important to keep your peace. You don't get a certain opportunity, you don't get a certain job, you don't get something. It's because there is khair in that. You could have put 1,000 days, billions of money, you could have done whatever it took for you, like drain the hell out of you. You really focused to do something and it didn't work out. if your focus is on the Akhirat, in your heart and your mind, you will recognize that the running after something is not peaceful to your mental and emotional being. That is running after wants. So you will never be peaceful in what you have. Your heart will start getting darker and darker and darker. Now, the thing is, when he says, "You are in my hands," he is Malik. He's holding you in his hands. He's keeping you provided with all the things that you need. What he's also reminding you that your body belongs to me, your soul belongs to me, your mind belongs to me, and your heart belongs to me. Now, if you absorb anything negative of this dunya and bring into the space, right, whose duty is it to remove that darkness from inside of you? You don't know this bee is good or not, right? You're just running after it thinking it's going to be really good for me because that's what your knowledge is. But he who is your Malik is the one who knows everything. He knows that this bee is going to lead you down into the ditch of dunya. You're going to become a slave to the 9 to 5 job, and you'll never be able to come closer to him. You won't have the time to research. You won't have the time to connect to me. You want more children. You have one, not enough. You want two, not enough. You want three, oh, my sass wants another one. 4. You keep having children. And so you're going to be pulled and pulled and pulled away from him, for your desires take over your being. And when that happens, you keep going into the attachments of this dunya. Attachments of this dunya make your heart heavy and dark and not qalbun salim. It's not at peace because you're so attached to making your mother happy, your husband happy, your children happy 24/7 that you are not at peace. Now, when you are not at peace and you die this very minute, because you will say, "Oh no, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm so happy looking at my children playing. They are my life." Seriously, that is one of the biggest stupid sentences to say to yourself, to devalue yourself and your child. My child is my life. Really? Really? Your life is a gift of Allah that is in you, not your child. Your child is a gift He has given you, but your child is not your life. Your life is in you. So the more you look at outside at your child and find your life in them, they're going to grow up and leave. You're not going to be at peace with them. It's so important. We've been programmed to constantly say these things. Hi, this, that. No, it's you. Allah is saying, you are this beautiful flower. You are the one I'm holding in my hands. You are the one I'm taking and providing everything that you need. So focus on you, not the bee. Focus on your peace. Focus on your heart. Focus on your ruh. Keep these things clean because you don't know when your time is to stand up right in front of him. Because the space or the way that you die is that's how you're going to wake up on the other end. What state do you want to get up in? Is the state you have to be in. The state you want to get up in is the state you have to live your life in. What's important is when your akhirat becomes important, you take care of your heart. You keep it safe from becoming dark. You stay away from those people and places which make you feel drained, tired, dark, resentful, angry, sad, guilty, unworthy, unseen, unheard. You stay away from places and situations and people. You stop engaging with, you will lose relationships in dunya, but you will get closer to your akhirat with taqwa, with love of Allah, with Malik holding you. You will literally allow your space, the hand that Allah is holding you, will not let dirt come inside your heart. So let him remove what he needs to. If it's not good for you, it's not good for you. You will not stop worrying. Sorry, I don't know. So you will stop worrying about what didn't happen. You will not think about, oh, did I catch the bee? Did I not catch the bee? Was the bee good for me? Was the bee not good for me? You'll say, hang on, I'm really not worried about the bee. It came, it flew, I saw. If it was for me, Allah will put the bee on my nose. If the bee comes and sits on my nose, that means Allah's sign. I'm going to go ahead to do this because I'm like, oh, papu, oh, the bee is coming sitting on me. Great. The bee is helping me, guiding me, showing me the way, and then I'm going to go. You're not going to run after the bee is going to come to you. That's faith. That is saying, I'm not running after nothing. My Allah is sending me all that I need. The opportunities, the people, the doors, the everything, the love. So you stop worrying about what didn't happen. That bee flew away. Oh, that opportunity I didn't get through. You don't sulk about it. You're like, you know what? It was actually not good for my akhirat. Boom, out of my way. Thank you, Allah, for not letting this happen because it was not good for my akhirat. Boom. That friend lost, hell with her, hell with him, whatever. That job loss, hell with him. That was not good for your akhirat. It was polluting the space between you and your Malik. It had to leave. Alhamdulillah. That's it. And your focus constantly becomes on your akhirat. The more your akhirat becomes important, your cleaning starts happening. You stop engaging with anything and everything and you start blooming. You start radiating light because you're like, you know what? I'm not made to be a slave of this society, of this world. I am constantly going to be pulled down and I'm going to constantly be catapulted upwards because this dunya can't hold me. This dunya can't get me. I'm not going to let the dunya dictate who I am because I am in the hands of my Malik. That's the power of Allah's light. The more you feel, the more you imagine, the more you connect to it. Think of a flower. When a flower blooms, is it inside darkness? They always say, oh, पौधे को बाहर रखो, उसमें से फूल निकलेंगे, because it's in light. Imagine the space that is around your flowers. There's always light. Allah is always holding that. Malik is always holding a flower. You think it's space around it. No, there's not space. It's light. It's his love that's holding the flower in the way it is holding. The strength that the stalk has for it to stand up straight, the petals for it to move the way and grow the way they do, the antlers, the inside things that there are, everything is being held by light, by love. What we're seeing is just the flower, but there's a negative space around it also, right? And that negative space is Malik. That's how you are being held, how you're being walked, how your muscles are moving, how your veins are, everything. Everything is surrounded by light. All you're seeing is your physical body, but you're not seeing your aura. You're not seeing, do you know that your heart actually radiates way fast, like humongous vibrations? If you read about it, you'll go in awe. When your heart chakra is stable, activated, and constantly you are working on it, because everything needs work, right? Our iman needs work, our remembrance needs work, our being needs constantly. We're a diamond, right? So we have to constantly work on ourselves. We can't just say, oh, aaj maine ye kar liya, kaam done, main to kamal ho gaya, aasmaan mein pahunch gaye. Can't do that because we're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing, we're constantly bees coming into our lives, and we're constantly distracted by them. But we have to constantly put akhirat first. The moment you put your akhirat first, I want to wake up in the state that I am right now. Focus on that state when you will meet your Allah. When that state becomes more important than your wants, automatically you will be peaceful. All the opportunities that will come will be the ones that connect you and create your life in a way that you're prepared for that. Because it says, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. He says, give me beauty in this world and give me beauty in the afterworld. Give me the beauty of doing the right things in this world to keep my heart beautiful, so that when I come there, I have a heart that is beautiful, so that I am given all the promises that you have made. And keep me away from the heat, keep me away from fire, keep me away from hell, because that's one of the biggest things. You do not heat. The reason he gave you fire was so that you could understand. He, by the way, lowered the fire in this dunya just so that you and I could learn from it. the fire element is in his control, right? He's lowered the intensity of fire just so that doesn't burn you completely. My God, that's incredible. I don't know where these realizations come from then anyway. So your focus needs to be on the peace of your heart and keep it safe from becoming dark. So don't run after these. That will keep you in this dunya. So you stop worrying about what didn't happen and start focusing on what is happening in a way to detach from the outcome. Now, when you come to these sessions or you go to any place where you're learning, you don't go with the, oh, I'm going to understand this. You go in with the understanding, okay, I'm going to go and see what I can learn here. It's a vast open space. You don't even know what name I'm giving. You don't even know what grid we're going to be working on. But you come here with an open word. Whatever Hamna gives, we're going to hug her. And whatever we do, she's going to hug us. It's cool. She's accepting, right? That's how we have, when we connect to Allah, we create a space that is safe for the teacher to be, so that she doesn't have to think, oh my God, I'm being judged by the student. No, they come in not to question you, to insult you, to lower you. They come with the expectation, like, I want to learn how to be more closer to Allah, and then the teacher's like, oh my God, this is what I worked on. Then anybody. Then the teacher goes, oh, you know what? This student is so interested. I'm going to even open a bigger window for her because I know she's capable of handling this information. So the more you think of your akhirat, the more you connect to Allah, the more you detach from the world, the more He opens different opportunities for you to bring you closer to Him. Because you turn to Him and say, you know, I'm done with this dunya. I'm not running after that fly. You bring me the fly you want me to run after, right? And I'm not running after a fly, full stop. I'm just going to do what I'm going to be doing, sitting right here in your hands. I'm not moving nowhere because I don't want to lose my Allah, my Malik, right? So you detach from what will happen, which fly will come. Will it be green, blue, pink, yellow? What will I have to do? I'm at your service. I'm just at your service, Allah. You are my Malik. You do what you want me to do, I'll do it. Because I know that you know what's best for me. As long as I get to stay in your presence, I stay inside your hands. You keep holding me. And that's His promise. He's holding you. He's saying He's Malik. He's holding every single petal, every single being, every single creation. Expand it. Always when you focus on you, then you can get self-obsessed, right? So when you think of something like, oh, Allah is forgiving, right? And you say, oh, Allah, please forgive me. Then think of your neighbor, right? And think of them, may Allah please forgive them also. And then expand yourself. Please forgive the people in my family. Then expand even further. People in this dunya. I know everybody's making some, but expand. And then expand. And then expand. The more you pray for yourself, the more you pray for the whole of creation. So imagine your heart vibration just keeps expanding. You're not just saying, oh, मुझे ये दे दो, मेरे को ये चाहिए, मुझे वो बना दो, मुझे इतने पैसे चाहिए. What this nisnapan, like? What is this bikaripan? You're standing in front of somebody who is open to everything. Don't just ask for yourself. Ask all that you're asking for you, for all others. Just expand your heart. The person you absolutely hate, ask for Allah to give them the love of their life. So if they became happy, they won't treat you the way they are treating you. You see, when we think of ourselves, मुझे ये दे दो, मुझे वो दे दो, मुझे ये कर दो, मेरा बच्चा स्कूल चला गया, मेरे को टेबल पे खाना मिल गया. Don't thank for iftari or sehri or food or rozas or namaz or sajdas or whatever. Just for yourself and your family. Hai, dunya khatam. Hey, yaar. Nahi. You are connected to that lion in Africa right now who is munching on a zebra. You're connected to that bird, that eagle that's flying high up in the sky. Pray for them. Thank Allah for them. Not just the land you are on, but everything that is around you, and expand your dua. Slowly, slowly, slowly expand your existence. Send energy out to all the things that you love on this planet. Send love to the flamingos. You know, Lamia, I love the way you've created the flamingos. I just love it. I hope they always stay like extinct now, dinosaur na ban jaye. You know, that's our power. We are Ashraful Makhluqat, as they say, right? So we can take care of all these animals. Why do we have to go feed them only chara and then only we will be doing something? Why can we not make a prayer for all the lions on the planet and send out that, you know, because he's your Malik, he's holding you in this light ball. What are you doing with the light ball? You spread it out to every single creation on the planet. The more you are at peace, the more peace you will send out. Ya Malik wants you to know he is taking care of everything, right? He's taking care of everything. For everything is in his hands. When everything is in his hands, the moment anything is going to allow darkness to seep in you, he will remove that from you. He will remove that that darkness, that resentment, that whatever experience from your reality. Remove it for you. And to see how much attached you were to that distraction. How much were you willing to say, I'm not running after this because this is only for dunya. I'm going to run after something that is good for my akhirat and my dunya. I'm not getting distracted by this bee going zzz. It's not going to distract me, right? When all within you is in his love, when all within you is his love, then all within you blooms. Now, in your heart, there's Allah. In your mind, there's Allah. In your du'as, there's Allah. In your sajdas, there's Allah. Now, everything has Allah in it. Of course, what's going to happen? You're going to bloom. You're going to expand. If you have Allah's light surrounding you, you are able to give light to all the beings around you. What are you doing? You're blooming. Where are you blooming from? Your heart. What does that truly mean? You are expanding your oneness, your Allah's connection, and spreading it out into this world. What else did you come here for? You came here to remember and worship Allah. How are you going to remember Allah if you are constantly going to be running after the bee? After dunya, after your wants. When all your needs are fulfilled, meaning when all of you inside you is awakened to the reality that it is inside Allah's hands, you have everything you need, you will bloom. Like I said, the flower is surrounded by light. When there is light, of course there's going to be blooming. Of course there's going to be beauty. Of course everything will just shine. So that is inside you, you're going to start shining outside. When all within you blooms, every petal, every line, every shape becomes beauty. Beauty that holds his love within it. Now, when you see a beautiful petal, or you see a beautiful pattern, you see a beautiful painting, you see a beautiful, you're looking very beautiful when you go somewhere, you're all dressed up. Every beautiful thing reminds of whom? Allah, because he is the creator of beauty. He puts inside every single human being the love of beauty. Why? So that through beauty, you are reminded of Allah. So when people say, oh, what a beautiful person that is, oh, you look so beautiful. Actually, the beauty cannot be visible to anybody if it was not the will of Allah. The only reason you're able to see somebody as beautiful is because Allah is choosing for you to see the beauty in them so that you can be reminded of whom? Allah. Their beauty is a sign for you to learn of how beautiful Allah makes this dunya. He is the Malik of your life, your body, and your soul. When in all of them is his remembrance, when you're remembering Allah from your mind, remembering Allah in your body, remembering in your soul, then you are in true alignment with his light. with his guidance and his path. When your heart is focused on your akhirat will lead you to that. Your akhirat will become the inspiration for you to live your life in this dunya. You will always be in alignment with Allah and His guidance when you worship your Allah, not through your mind, not through your body, and not through your soul, one at a time, but when you worship Him by the body, by the mind, and your soul. And when you say, I am going to be guided by you, of course He's going to test you. The moment you say, my body belongs to you, boom, He's going to give you some cold or some kind of, something, and He will test you. Now your body will feel a certain kind of pain. My shoulder got dislocated or something. Allah na kare, please, Allah mia, don't do it. Please don't do it. But I'm just giving an example. If your shoulder gets hurt or something, suddenly I realize, oh my God, please. So when you say, I worship you, I come to you, I connect to you, and I'm in alignment, I want to be in service of you through my body, mind, and soul, He's going to say, all right, then bring it on. I will test you in your emotions. I will test you in your body, and I will test you in your spiritual soul things. Because He is your Malik. He needs to make sure that you are worthy of getting into Jannat. And for getting into Jannat, when you connect to your Malik's name, you understand you're always in Jannat when you are with Him, and you're always in alignment with His light. He is going to test you by sending you a bee that is attractive for your body. Then He's going to send you some bee who's attracting your mind, and then play with your mind. And you know how He does this with emotions. He'll send you people who are unemotional to you, who are unavailable to you. And you'll be like, Arey bhai, and he's testing you. What are you going to do next? Then He's going to test you with your soul. He's going to give you experiences which make you like really become patient, and you'll be like, yeah, Allah, I was so calm, I was so zen, why this person's come? That's the bee that comes just to test you. How stable are you? So just be very mindful as you move ahead in life. The more you open towards the Allah, the more the test becomes larger and greater. But what's really, really beautiful is that when He gives you a test, and you are in alignment with Him, with His light, with His guidance, with His path, a time comes when He really removes all darkness from you, and you feel like, bring it on. It becomes like a beautiful game between you and Him, a conversation. No pain is painful enough for you to turn away from Allah, because your trust in Him goes so high that you say, this pain for you, Allah, I'll deal with it. No problem. Because this pain will get me to you. This pain, if I deal with this pain, I'll remember you and I'll get into Jannat. So automatically, the pain loses its grip on you, and you're like, you know what? This is a blessing from my Allah. This didn't happen, blessing from my Allah. That happened, blessing from my Allah. Alhamdulillah. He's my Malik. He's going to take me through. He's the one taking care of all my petals. He's the one taking care of everybody on this planet. He's the one who's guiding them. I'm not going to judge them. They are doing the role that they need to do in my life, and I'm going to let myself be free of what they need to do in my world, and understand that they're doing that what Allah wants them to do. So I love you all. And I hope that this has helped you in some way, or guided you, or grounded you, and brought you closer to this beautiful name. I highly recommend connecting to this name on as many times as you can. I'm not the kind of person who says do tasbeehs and sit and like do it 3 times, 4 times, 300 times, 800 times, do it at Maghrib time, do it as Fajr. Because like I always say, I don't have time limitations. I go connect to Allah wherever it is that I need to, however it is I need to, whatever the hell time is, because that does not restrict me from coming close to Allah, right? So I would say, if you can just sit on your sofa having a cup of tea, sit with your cup of tea, allow that tea to go in within you, and say, He is the Malik of who created the tea, who got me the tea, who knows that when this tea reaches my body, what it will fulfill and give me the desire. He's the one who's holding me. I am held in light. Think of light all around you today and forever in your life. and know that any dirty thing that will come in your space, it is his love that he will remove that. That what you don't get is that darkness, because you'll run after that bee, and he doesn't want you to run after that bee. He wants to just sit there and let the bee come and sit on your nose. Take good care of yourselves, guys, and I will inshallah connect with you soon.